Even when we are trying our best to stay afloat financially, sometimes we make mistakes. And that's okay if you know how to pick yourself up and get back on track. Sometimes the mistakes that you end up doing let you miss many opportunities that would help you in gaining the financial freedom you've always dreamed of. The important thing is to acknowledge the mistakes that you've made in the past, or try to avoid making them in the first place. The one thing you can start with is changing your whole mindset when it comes to money, which you can do by following the tips and our ways to improve your money mindset video, which you can find in the I button here. The second step is to learn the most common money-related mistakes that most people make. This would prevent you from going into any fatal financial problems that would take a long time for you to get out of. The good news is, even if you've fallen into any such mistakes, it isn't too late to recover from any of them. And keep in mind, it is never too soon to start learning how to avoid them. Hello, and welcome back to the Ring of Knowledge, your trusted source of practical financial knowledge. And today, we will help you find financial freedom by going over the 10 money mistakes that you should avoid. Clearing away such mistakes might just be the key to having a successful financial life. So without further ado, let's take a look at what you need to avoid. Number 1. Not having a budget plan. Regardless of how much you earn, where and how you spend your money, you need to set up some time to create a budget plan for your finances. This would serve as your roadmap to help you accomplish your goals financially. Your financial goals should be SMART, as in 1. Specific, 2. Measurable, 3. Achievable, 4. Relevant, and 5. Time-bound. Your SMART financial plan or budget should include any strategy you need to use to save money, the amount you need to put aside for your investment, and how much you can afford to spend. Once you have your plan ready, you are off to a great start. The first basic thing you need to consider is how to take care of your essential needs every month, how much you need to put aside, and how much to allocate for debt repayment. A great rule to follow is the 50-30-20. Whatever your income is, 50% should go to your basic needs, and 30% to paying off any outstanding debts. The last 20% should go off to a savings account or even to an investment. 2. Not paying off high-interest debt quickly. Now that we've established that saving part of your income is a major step that should be included into your budget plan, it would be difficult for us to save any money at all if we are in debt, and having a high-interest debt to pay would easily eat up every penny we were considering saving or even spending. If you have several debts to pay off, it is always a good idea to prioritize paying off the one that has the highest interest rates. This is always a good strategy that will eventually help you save a lot of money. Usually, the highest interest rate debt is most probably your credit card debt. So start by taking this one out of the way. If you have extra cash or plan on paying in a lump sum if you're expecting a bonus, it would even be a good idea to use your savings account that isn't needed at the moment to pay it off. This will help you tremendously in the long run, and you'd be able to put aside the money you might be paying for interest to go back to the amount you used in no time. 3. Buying a brand new car. We understand the feeling one can have when purchasing a new car, smelling that new car smell and driving it for the first time. What you should know, however, is that as soon as you get inside the car and drive it off the dealership, its value drops instantly by 25%. And speaking honestly, being able to afford a new car payment isn't the same as being able to afford a new car. You have to realize that when you borrow money to purchase a brand new vehicle, you'd be paying interest on a depreciating asset. Think about what you'd eventually get in a couple of years when you decide to smell that car. It'd be one of the worst deals you've ever made because you wouldn't be getting half as near as you paid for it. However, we do realize that some people prefer riding it out in new cars with low to no mileage and have the benefits of a manufacturer's warranty. And when you go to a manufacturer, you can ask for a certified vehicle that has been used for a year or two. It would come with a pretty low mileage and still has a warranty included. When you're ready to sell it off, you'd get a much better deal than when you purchase a brand new car in installments. 4. Relying on credit cards. Everyone loves their credit cards. Whether we are buying Christmas presents or shopping online for home decorations, it is easy to swipe that card and know we only have to pay for it later on. But you should know that you are accumulating unnecessary and expensive debt. This doesn't mean that you shouldn't have a credit card, nor does it mean you shouldn't use one. After all, you can build a good credit history using a credit card, but always be cautious when using one, because it is always too tempting to purchase things off your credit card that you really can't afford. Many of us are burdened with a student loan or a car loan, so adding credit card debt on top of that would only cause unnecessary stress. A credit card is a necessity for our financial life, but using one irresponsibly is one of the main mistakes that we should be avoiding. If you already have a large credit card debt, it isn't too late to turn things around. Figure out a way to pay off that high interest and crippling debt to get back on track. And remember to always set a fixed budget plan to help you avoid overindulging. 5. Forgetting your insurance. Let us be clear. When we talk about a budget, we're not only referring to trying to cut off expenses and payments. It is about making financial decisions that are right for our future. And having insurance, whether medical, car insurance, life insurance, or home insurance, if you own a house, is one of the necessary things that you shouldn't forget to set a budget for. It is detrimental to go over what your insurance covers every year and make sure that you are covered for whatever unexpected things you could face. Go over everything that has changed in your life and make sure that your insurance covers everything you need before you find yourself needing to use it. Did you recently have a baby? Remodel your house? Or did you purchase a more expensive car? Your insurance should cover every major asset of your life. 6. Not investing in your future. One of the biggest mistakes we tend to do financially is not investing in our future. When we do not put money aside, whether in a savings account or an investment, is one of the most certain ways that will help us reach any financial goal in the long run. If you still haven't started investing, it is never too late to start. And the sooner you start investing, the better it will be for your future. Having a good investment plan will help you start putting aside money for retirement, which will give advantages in taxes. It is important to diversify your portfolio as much as possible when considering investing. If you're still unsure where to begin in this regard, it is always wise to get a piece of advice from a financial advisor regarding how and where to begin. A qualified advisor will help you create a strategy that is suitable for you within a preset time frame and one that includes a balanced risk. 7. Forgetting about reoccurring monthly payments. You would be surprised how many of us have subscriptions that we pay without us making much use of them. Most of the memberships or subscriptions that we have are taken right from our accounts, and sometimes we tend to forget about them. Think about how many services you have subscribed to, a gym membership you rarely use, or a magazine that you no longer have the time to read. Those memberships and subscriptions get piled up and turn into a large sum that gets withdrawn from our monthly income, and many of us tend to forget about them, or we promise to use them in their fullest in the following month. While considering your financial plan, think about how much you can save from your unused subscriptions that you are signed up for. You'd be surprised how much you'd be able to eventually save. 8. Not getting good enough financial education. Even when we go through school and then college, we rarely get a fulfilling education when it comes to the personal finance matters. Even after starting work and going through different life experiences, it seems that serious financial education is missing from our lives. And this is one of the most required kinds of education we need throughout our lives when it comes to personal finance. When it comes to personal finance, it is very easy to think that everything is going to be fine. But if you put in the time to learn seriously about finance, you'll be surprised about how much you've already missed. You will be able to avoid a lot of money mistakes when you actually know what you're doing. You should realize that it all starts with you being willing to learn. Once you are on the right path, you will find many free resources where you can learn more about personal finance and educate yourself. The medium doesn't really matter. You might like to read a blog, watch a video, or might even consider taking a course. As long as you are willing to learn, you are meant for greatness. 9. Spending more than you earn. Many of us are embracing a lifestyle that we cannot afford, and this is a major money mistake that we all tend to do. When you decide to start controlling your budget, this doesn't only mean creating a plan for what bills you want to pay. It should also take into account how much money you'd be able to save at the end of every month. Sometimes you'll be able to put yourself on the correct financial path by minimizing unnecessary costs, which after consideration you might realize some of which you can't really afford. You will thus be able to put aside some more money, helping you in the long run to reach your financial goals. Once you put your mind on it, you'll be able to turn your life around financially. Spending only what you can afford doesn't mean denying yourself any pleasures. It is about choosing the ones that are right for you. 10. Neglecting to write a will. This might sound a little pessimist, but let's be clear. Death is a part of life, and you must think about not only your future, but your future for your family. After all, your financial plans are ultimately to provide for yourself and for your loved ones. But if anything happens and you are no longer around, you would want to have your family taken care of. If anything happens to you suddenly, and you have no written will prior to your passing, a court would decide for you what happens to your assets. But a will is a legal document that clearly determines what you want to happen with your money in case you are no longer with us. Although it is a very gloomy topic to consider, your family deserves to know and abide by your last wishes. This would also reduce any stress that your loved ones might face after hearing some bad news. It's okay if you've already made some of those mistakes while trying to manage your money. The important thing is to understand what you did wrong and start fixing your mistakes as soon as possible. Let us know in the comments down below where you think you need to improve your financial life and which mistakes of the above you need to work on. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more content such as this one. Hope to see you in the next video.